Persecution is necessary for all believer out there. So yesterday there was something that dropped in my spirit and I'm here to share it. That persecution is not always bad. Yes, originally the devil intended persecution to stop a believer, to destroy a believer, destroy a believer's image so that people will not believe in them or what God is trying to use them to do. You understand? So you know on that note, people will persecute or assassinate your character, say all sort of things that you are not. But in the other hand, God uses persecution to save a believer. You'll be listening, or you're listening, you're like, how does God uses persecution to save a believer? Yes, sometimes a believer or someone that used to be a Christian might have gone astray and they are no longer in Christ. So sometimes persecution or what they are going through would make them run to God for help, just like the prodigal son in the Bible. He went out to live a lavish, he lavished everything that he had, his father's wealth and all those things, with the lifestyle he was living out there. But when things became hard, he told himself that he needs to go back to his father, that even the servant in his father's palace eats better than the way he's eating, because now he's now eating crumbs from pig's plate. So he now realized that he needs his father back. So that's the same way God saves his children when they have gone astray. God uses persecution to save them. Sometimes God uses persecution to make you depend totally on Him and not on anybody. God will make you see the nature of man, the way a man or someone or people behave, so that you will depend on Him totally, for you to know that no one should be trusted. Another way God saves His children is a place of humility, because sometimes as a believer, God might be using you to do wonders, to do miracles, to do deliverance and all that. And sometimes he enters your head. You start thinking that, oh, man, I worked so hard, or I did this, or man, it's because I spent so much time in God. Or sometimes people begin to praise you, and the praise begins to enter your head or begins to make you have pride in you. So God will use persecution to humble you to a place where you realize that everything you had was not yours, but it was God. To the level you will realize that was God that lifted you to that level. So it humbles you in God's presence. It humbles you to know that outside is very tough. Persecution, another way, also helps you to pray, because there are sometimes you're very busy. You're like busy doing a lot of things, doing God's work, doing this and all those things. But persecution makes you seek God every single day, every minute, every hour. It humbles you to a place where you need God every day of your life. And another part that is coming to me right now is the part where persecution also helps you to kind of like get more, should I say, put more humble in God's presence. There's another level of humility I'm talking about, in the part where sometimes people might begin to say all sorts of words concerning you by saying that you are very proud or you're arrogant, or say all sorts of things, or try to assassinate your character, or say things that you might be guilty of or that you're not guilty of. So, in that aspect, if you're not guilty of it, God will strengthen you. But if there is any way that persecution is making people call out the things they have seen in you that is bad, it brings you to God's presence where you tell God, Father, people say that some people say that I'm very proud. Some people say I'm very arrogant. Some people say I'm this. Some people say I talk too much. Some people say I'm hot tempered. Father, if by any way I have this in me, please take it away. If there is any way I have showed any sign of pride or in like arrogance or any fruit in me that is not like you, please take it away. So do you see that level of humility? Now, before you were doing everything, you thought everything is okay, but God is allowing persecution and from the things people are saying against you to touch you to a place where you now realize that you need God to help take away some fruit in you that is not of God. So yes, initially, devil intended to use persecution to destroy you, but God is using persecution to train you, to uplift you, to remove things in you that is not like him. He's using persecution to humble you, one to in his presence. He's also using persecution to humble you for you to know that some of your characters or some of the things that people are saying are correct and you need help. Are you getting what I'm saying? So there are many things that you can benefit. Where the part the Bible said, all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. Yes, the devil intended evil to destroy you, but God is using that part to heal you, to address you, to make you see the nature of man, to make you depend totally on him, to make you be humble in his presence, to make you work on yourself and see that you need him every step of your way. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. Bye.